Welcome everyone. In the last session, we have discussed in detail how a statement of profit and loss is prepared. There is a certain pattern or a format for preparing a statement of profit and loss, and you have to familiarize the pattern in which it has to be prepared and what are the contents that comes under each heads. If you have clear idea about the contents or what are the items that has to be stated in the statement, then it will be easier for you to deal with cases relating to the presentation of statement of profit and loss. Next case. From the following information relating to Rishikesh Limited, prepare a statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31st 3 2018. You are given a lot of items that has to be recorded in the appropriate heads in a statement. Go through each of these statements, and first of all, before attending the answer or before you go for preparing the statement of profit and loss, first of all identify what is each item, what is the nature of each item, where it has to be presented or recorded, or where it has to be written under which head. First of all, familiarize each item, and you should have a plan about the presentation of statement of profit and loss. After that, you can go directly for the preparation of statement of profit and loss. So first of all, identify each item, in which head each of these items comes. So let us go for the presentation. First one, title of the concern, Rishikesh Limited. Statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31/3/2018. And while going through the answer or while dealing with such cases, make sure whether it is a financial institution or not. Financial institution means an institution that deals with financial activity, mainly accepting deposit, lending money like that. Because for those concerned, their main source of income is interest from loans or expenses, including interest paid to deposits like that. So if it is a financial concern, their main source of income, because sources of income includes two items: main source of income or sale from activities and other incomes. So usually in a finance concern, the interest received is an operational activity. It has to be shown under the heading income from business activity or operation. But in all cases, whatever the case may be, interest received is considered under other income segment. I believe you have understand the concept, because we have discussed about the financial, what is the aspect or what are the activities that are carried out in a financial institution and how it is to be prepared. We have discussed about that. So make sure whether the question or case is with regard to a financial institution or not. Financial institution, you have to consider the interest accordingly. So there are two items mainly that comes under the income part. First one, revenue from operations. So revenue from operations includes sales. So go and check for is there. Yes, sales is directly even. And one more thing, when you check for sales, make sure you also check for sales returns, because whenever there is a sales return, you need to adjust the sales returns with sales. Because during the computations of financial or presentation of financial statement, we need only net sales. That is sales after adjusting sales return. So make sure whether there is sales return given in the question. There is only yes, sales return is given. So you have to find out the net sales. So net sales, that is sales after sales returns. Here sales amount is 4,85,000. Sales return is 1,000. So 4,85,000 minus 1,000, it is 4,84,000. They are computed the value. And from sales return, you have to deduct excise duty. This is as per the format. In the format also, you have learned that from sales, you have to deduct excise duty. In this question, excise duty is given on sales 14,000. So deduct, you will get the actual sale income. Now you can go for other types of income. So check whether there are any other sorts of income given in the question. Yes, there is one item, interest on investments, that is one item. Profit on sale of investment, that has to be considered. Loss on sale of furniture. Here the loss on sale of furniture. You can show this item under other source of income. So how you are going to consider the loss on sale of furniture in other source of income, because income includes all sorts of cash inflows, and loss in the sale of furniture, how can you adjust that? Is actually you can adjust that because it relates to a sale item. Loss has been arised because of the sale of a furniture. So other income might include the sale value of the furniture, but it is not mentioned here. So whenever there is a loss or a profit on a particular sale of an item, you have to adjust those profit or loss with the corresponding item. Just like the profit on sale of investment adjusted on interest or investment, whatever it is. Like that, say loss on sale of furniture, how you are going to adjust that? See, it can be shown in the working note. Other incomes include interest on investment 46,000, profit on sale of investment 20,000, loss on sale of furniture, you have to deduct it. That's it. That is how you have to adjust the loss in the income side. At first you might have get confused because how the loss on sale of furniture included in the income side. And the concept is you have to deduct the loss value from the income, because that loss is related to a sale activity, and so the loss has to be adjusted along with the sales. That is why we have taken the loss on sale of furniture 3,000 here. You may think that in the question there is no information regarding the sale of furniture, then why we have included? That is the pattern of presenting the statement. Any profits or loss with regard to sale has to be adjusted along with the sales or sales side or income side. That is the concept. So other income we have got 63,000. So let us show other income 63,000, and it was the first working note, we have given 1. After that there are no other source of income, so we can take the total. So total income is 5,33,000 by adding these two amounts. Now we can go for expenses. In the expenses we will first begin with cost of material consumed. So make sure whether the cost of material consumed is directly given in the question. From the initial glance itself we can find that there is no such item as cost of material consumed. So how we are going to find the cost of material consumed? Anyway, in whatever the business or whatever the nature of the concern or whatever the country of origin, there will be a sure item that is cost of material. Any business that is running any business operations relating to goods and services will definitely have cost of material consumed. So it is a inevitable item. And how we are going to find that? We have learned about an equation while dealing the theoretical aspect of the format, that is cost of material means opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So we have learned an equation with regard to that, but from the presentation of statement of profit and loss concept, you have to do the computation in another style. That is, if the cost of material details or amount is directly given in the question, if it is directly mentioned in the question, you can write cost of material, the amount. If there is no information regarding the cost of material consumed is in the question, then you can leave it a blank line. So you may get confused because you are in theoretical part. We have learned that cost of material is an inevitable aspect, and you need to find the value of the cost of material if it is not given, and there is an equation for that. There is a net effect for that. Instead of finding the cost of material using the equation, we can easily find the cost of material consumed in another way. So let us go through the another way. After that I will discuss about the value can be obtained after dealing with the equation type. So cost of material consumed, it is not given in the question, so we can leave it. Next one, change in inventory. That is an important aspect that has to be considered while dealing with statement of profit and loss. So change in inventory, there is a theoretical aspect regarding that, and there is a easy method for finding the value, and I believe you have gone through that format for finding the change in the inventory. So first of all, let us write down the purchases. In the question, purchase is given. Make sure whether there is any returns for purchase. If there is any returns, adjust the purchase return from purchases. So since there are no information regarding purchase returns, we can write 2,20,000. After that, change in inventory. I have mentioned that while computing the change in inventory, first of all, write down the opening stock. From that, deduct closing stock. You will get a positive value or a negative value. From this part, you will get a positive value. So 7,600. Okay, that is one part. And earlier I have mentioned that if the cost of material is not given in the question, you can find the cost of material by using the equation. So what was the equation? Opening stock plus purchases. The opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, you will get a value. So right now, make sure here purchases is 2,20,000 and 7,600. So if you add these two items, what will you get? 2,27,600. Okay, wait. Now we can find the cost of material by using the equation, whether we are getting the same value or not. So equation was opening stock 83,600, opening stock plus purchases plus 2,20,000 minus closing stock. If you using a calculator, you can find that you get a value 2,27,600. That means 2,20,000 plus 7,600, you will get the actual cost of material consumed. So the thing is, for if you want to find the cost of material consumed by using the equation, then don't find or don't present the details of purchases and change in inventory. If you are not using the equation or considering only the details given in the question, just like the method we are doing here, then forget about the equation. Just write down the items given in the question. Purchases, write the amount. Change in inventory, write the amount. So the net effect is, instead of writing all these items, you can either use the equation or else write down the details given in the question in the considerable heads. I believe you have understand the concept. Next one, employee benefit expenses. So what are the items that comes under employees benefit expense? Anything paid by us to our employees, all those items comes under employee benefit expenses. I believe in this question there are many items that comes under employee benefit expenses. So let us prepare another note. So employee benefit expenses include, first of all, salaries and wages. It is given in the question, salaries and wages 83,000, bonus to workers 23,000, and staff welfare expenses 10,000. So add together all these three items, so you will get employee benefit expenses 1,16,000. Since it was a second computation note, we have given 2 under the note number column. After that, you have to go for next important item, that is the finance cost. Anyway, finance cost also comprises of some items that has to be considered. Finance cost mainly includes interest paid to outside parties. So here there are two items, interest on debentures and interest on borrowing. So let us identify that. Finance cost include interest on debentures 60,000, interest on borrowings 25,000. Add together these two, you will get 85,000. Show this 85,000 in the respective column. Since it was a third computation, we have given number 3, note number 3. See, 3. After finance cost, another important item, depreciation. In the format you might didn't see the depreciation, but depreciation is a common item, so that has to be considered. Next one, depreciation. In the question, depreciation is directly given 40,000. The concept is, it is actually similar to the trading profit and loss account which you have studied in your +1 classes. There is a certain pattern for presentation, that is only difference. All other aspects is almost similar to the presentation of trading profit and loss account. So right now we have recorded all the items under respective heads, and go through all the items again and again, whether you have skipped or marked any items. You can see that even after going through all these and even after entering the respective items in the various heads, you can see some items cannot be included in the heads which we have discussed now, like repairs and insurance. We haven't learned any head for that. Auditors fees. In the format we didn't even heard or discussed about auditors fees. Rent and rates, we have discussed about that. So where do these items come? After preparing various heads as per the format, if you still find any items you couldn't able to include in any of the following heads, it can be included under the next head, that is known as other expenses. So find out the amount of other expenses. Other expenses constitute of the 3 items which I have mentioned now: repairs and insurance 7,000, auditors fee 16,000, rent and rate 6,000. You will get 29,000. So you can show the total of other expenses here. After that you have to take the total. Total means after adjusting all these items you have to take the total of expenses, not in the incomes also. While computing the total of expenses, don't consider the income part. Many students make a careless mistake. While computing the total expenses, they will add from beginning itself. You can't do like that, because first 2 or 3 items that belongs to the income part. Here we are trying to take the total of expenses. So total of expenses include 4,97,600. So now we can go for next one, profit before exceptional and extraordinary items and tax. Simple meaning means profit before adjusting, before any considering any exceptional and extraordinary. Make sure whether there is any exceptional and exceptional and extraordinary. We will come to that. But anyway, profit. How you are going to find profit? This one. Total revenue minus total expenses, you will get 35,400. So now you have got the profit before adjusting exceptional items, extraordinary items and tax. Now you have to consider any exceptional items. So from beginning onwards, check whether there is any exceptional items given or not. See, profit from exceptional items, loss from extraordinary items, profit from discontinuing operations. So here right now we are going to deal only the exceptional and extraordinary. Why we are not considering discontinuing operations? Because by the end of the format we are going to deal separately the discontinuing areas. So right now consider only exceptional and extraordinary items. So what are the exceptional items and extraordinary items? Here there is one exceptional item, profit from exceptional item. So first of all, let us write down the exceptional item, that is 20,000. Since it is a profit, you can add. After that, let us consider the extraordinary item. So since it is a profit and we have got a profit 35,400, so we can add these two, 55,400. From that you have to deduct the loss from extraordinary item. Extraordinary item loss. See, instead of writing negative sign, you have to put brackets for the negative value. Brackets means negative value. So 55,400 was the profit after considering extraordinary items. So For 55,400 minus 4,000, you will get 51,400. That means profit before tax. That is a pattern you have to follow. First of all, you have to adjust exceptional item, after that extraordinary item, after that tax. So write down before adjusting tax, because we haven't adjusted tax. So you have to write profit before tax, that is 51,400. Now go for the taxes. Is there any information regarding taxes given or not? See, current tax and deferred tax. There are two types of taxes. It will be directly given, so show both taxes in the respective column. So tax expenses, current tax 14,000 and deferred tax 6,000, total 20,000. What was the profit? 51,400. From that you have to deduct 20,000. So you will get 31,400. That means profit for the period from continuing operations. These all relating to the business that is in operation. Now, after dealing all the aspects regarding the existing current business, you can go for discontinued operations. Now, what was the details given regarding discontinued operation? A profit from discontinuing operation 30,000. Show that item. Profit from discontinuing operation 30,000. And now make sure whether there is any more item that has to be recorded, that is any expenses or incomes like that. Since there are not any items, we can go for tax, but make sure whether there is any tax relating to discontinued operation, because whenever there is an operation there will be tax. Since there is no information regarding tax or tax on discontinued operation, let it be blank. We can go for next one. So profit from discontinuing operation, you will get 30,000, because we are adjusting the profit from discontinued operation 30,000. From that you have to deduct tax expenses, so you will get again the 30,000. That is the difference. There is not much of a confusion. So now you have to find out the total profit for the year. That is with regard to the current operations and profit from the discontinued operation. So where is the information regarding profit of the current operation? See, profit for the period from continuing 31,400. Profit from the discontinued operation is 30,000. So finally profit for the period is 31,400 plus 30,000. You will get 61,400. So now we have got the profit of the entire business, whether continuing or discontinuing, whatever it is. Now our work is not over. We have to distribute this profit, otherwise we can say earnings, to the respective owners, that is shareholders. So in the question, make sure whether there is any information regarding number of equity shares. If you go through the last line, you can see closing stock of the company is value 76,000. Usually it will be like that. Closing stock is always given as an adjustment, not in the list. Remember that. Company has an equity of 40,000 shares. So we have got the total number of shares. Now we have to divide the 61,400 for 40,000 equity shareholders. So how we are going to deal that? That is earning per share equal to net profit available to equity shareholders. Since in this question there is no information regarding preference shares, debenture holders, convertible preference shares or convertible debentures, and last but not the least, the preference interest, preference dividend and debenture interest. Since there is no information regarding any of these items, we can directly take 61,400, because in the statement, while discussing the format of the statement of profit and loss, we have learned an equation for finding the net profit available to equity shareholders. That equation is applicable only under conditions where preference shares dividend or preference dividend debenture interest, such kinds of items, if it is available in the question, in that case only you need to use that equation. Otherwise you can directly take 61,400. So 61,400 divided by total number of equity shares. Remember, not the total equity share value. You have to take the number of equity shares. See, 40,000 equity shares. So 40,000 you will get 1.54. That is, each shareholder will get 1 rupee 54 paise with regard to the profit or earnings of the business. So this is how you have to prepare a statement of profit and loss for the period. I believe you have understand the concept. The main aspect that has to be kept in mind is how the statement and profit and loss is prepared. You should have a clear cut idea about what are the contents of the statement. If you know the contents and the position of each of these statements, that means where the employee benefit expense has to be recorded or where the sales return has to be recorded. If you have an idea about all the items in a statement, then don't worry about any case. You can deal whatever adjustment or adjusted case or whatever question you can you are going to face in an examination. You can deal any type of question, but if you have a clear and depth idea about the format of a statement of profit and loss and how each of these items has to be considered. I believe you have got an idea about the concept. Now let us go through one more case, then you will get a clear picture about how the statement of profit and loss is prepared. Next case. From the following information, prepare a statement of profit and loss of Amulya Limited for the year ended 31/3/2018. Here you can see that the numbers are given in decimals because it's the value or the number of digits in each of these cases might be bigger. So for the convenience only, they are showing it in decimals. See, in the bracket it is mentioned that each of these amounts are the actual representation of its lakhs, because the number is a very big number. So for the computation purpose only they are doing like that. So when you come across a decimal value, don't get confused. It's actually a bigger amount, and for the computation purpose, for the convenience purpose, they are converting it to a decimal value, much smaller value. So here sales, excise duty, discount received. Go through each item and make sure whether you are familiar with each of these items. If not, try to identify where it has to be recorded and how it is to be presented. Make sure that. And after all these, you have to go for the additional information. The share capital of the company consists of 80 lakh equity shares of 10 each. That is, total number of equity shares is 80 lakhs. And 25 lakhs, 10% convertible preference shares of 10 each. That is an issue. So now you have to be very careful while finding out EPS, because this 10% convertible preference shares is actually a diluted situation. Diluted means while computing the EPS, there are two types of EPS, basic and diluted. So during the computation, you have to find basic and diluted separately. We will deal that part. So let us begin with the computation. First of all, we all know there is a pattern for that. Amulya Limited statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31/3/2018. First of all, we will begin with income. So first of all, the main source of income is sales. So sales is 2,361. Let's use the values given in the question itself. So 2,361, and excise duty on sales is also given. Since there are no sales returns, you can take the difference and show the net amount 2,302. Now check whether there are any more incomes given in the question. Yes, there are certain items: discount received, commission received, and no, there are no other item. And extraordinary income, we will consider those extraordinary incomes under the category extraordinary income from extraordinary activity. We will discuss the extraordinary items under the category profit or income from extraordinary activity. In that case, we will consider. Don't take that income here. So there are no other further items. So now we have to prepare the note, because here other income constitute more than one item. So we have to add together all those items. So Other incomes include discount received and commission received around 13.5. So show the other income 13.5 here. Since there are no other incomes specified in the question, you can take the total, that is 2315.5. Next one, we will begin with the expenses. First of all, we all know the expenses. First item will be cost of material consumed. It is directly given, cost of material consumed 843, so you can go for it. And here next one, purchases. Purchases is given in the question 10.3, you can show here. Next one, change in inventory. Here opening stock and closing stock is given in the question. See, opening stock and closing stock is given 3.2 and 1.6. And here you can see that the closing stock is written first and opening stock is written first. It's better to go for the format which we have learned. That is, we will write down first opening stock. That what was the amount? 1.6. After that, closing stock, that is 3.2. 1.6 minus 3.2. What is the answer? You will get minus 1.6. See, negative value. That will be the easy part. Don't go for the pattern shown here. First of all, write down opening stock. From that, deduct closing stock. You will get whether it is a positive or negative value or no. And now make sure you follow this pattern while dealing with cost of material, purchases and change in inventory category. This will be much better. If there is no other information regarding cost of materials or purchases, only given details regarding opening stock or purchases alone, any two items is given, you can use the equation of the cost of material. If all the items is given, it is better to follow this pattern, because by learning these two methods in the examination, you will get confused regarding which method has to be followed, like that. So remember, follow the method which we have discussed now. If there is cost of material consumed, show the amount. Otherwise, leave it. Purchases of stock and trade, if it is given, show. Change in inventory, usually opening stock and closing stock will be given, show like that. It's simple. Next one, employees benefit expenses. Here there are some employee benefit expenses, so we have to do the working notes. So employee benefit expenses include sales, salary, wages, bonus and allowances. Salary 12.2, wages 1.5, bonus and allowances 0.8. That is given in the question. Add together all these, show here. Once employee benefit expense is done, you can go for the finance cost. I believe you all know what is meant by finance cost. Expenses with regard to any amount which we have taken as a loan or any which we have got as a credit from out suppliers, like that. So such expenses mainly include interest on loan or interest on debentures, anything like that. So here interest on loan directly given, so you can show here interest on loan 12.5. After that, the next common item, that is depreciation. As per the format we haven't discussed about depreciation. Depreciation is a common item, show here depreciation 3.2. After depreciation, make sure whether there are any more items that comes under each of these heads. You can see that even after adjusting the items in the respective heads, there are some items that has been left out, such as discount allowed, director's fees, commission paid. These three has to be shown under other expenses. So we have to find the value of total expenses. So other working note, total expenses, discount allowed, director's fees, commission 4.6. Show the amount here. Take the total of expenses only. Don't take this one. So if you add together all these, you will get 886.5. Now you need to find the profit. Profit means income minus expenses. You will get profit before exceptional and extraordinary item and tax. Try to follow the same pattern. Don't use your own sentences. This is the profit that is found out before adjusting extraordinary items and exceptional items. So you have to write the sentence like that. Profit before exceptional and extraordinary items and tax. 1429. Now we have to show the details of profit from extraordinary items. So make sure whether there are any extraordinary items given in or not. In this case, there are no information regarding exceptional items, so let it be blank. So let us go for next area, extraordinary item. There is one item, extraordinary incomes 2.5. Show here. Before writing down the details of extraordinary item, try to write the sentence like this: profit before extraordinary item and tax. And after that you can adjust extraordinary item. Extraordinary item is 2.5. If you deduct 2.5 from extraordinary income, it's an income, so don't deduct, you have to add. If it is an expense, you have to deduct. So extraordinary income you have to add, you will get 1431.5. So this is the profit before tax. Now we have to adjust tax. Now go for the question whether there are any information regarding tax. See, tax expenses, current tax and deferred tax. Show both the taxes, tax expenses, current tax and deferred tax, directly given in the question 43.2 and 2.3. Deduct the taxes from the income, you will get profit for the period. So this profit, we have to distribute these profits to the owners of the concern. Owners means shareholders. Here the share capital or the number of shareholders or number of persons who hold equity shares are not confined to 80 lakhs, because there is another group of parties, that is 25 lakh preference shares are convertible, that is they are convertible to equity shares. So in this case you need to find basic EPS as well as diluted EPS. So first of all, find out basic EPS. We can find basic EPS. Basic EPS means profit available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. So here profit is 1386, but in the question it is said that a certain category of preference shares are there and we have to provide dividend to the preference shares. After considering the dividend of the preference shares, the remaining amount can only be distributed to equity shareholders. So net profit 1386 minus 25 lakhs into 10 by 100. That means you will get 25 lakhs itself. So you have to deduct the 10%, because 10% directly given, 10% on 250 lakhs, you will get 25 lakhs. Deduct the preference dividend, you will get the net profit available to equity shareholders. Now you have to use the equation basic EPS equal to 1361 divided by 80. You will get 17 rupees. That is, each equity shareholder will get 17 by way of profit. That is with regard to basic EPS. Since it is a convertible preference shares, you need to find the diluted EPS also. If there is no information regarding convertible, if there is only 10% preference shares alone, you need not have to find diluted EPS. Since convertible preference shares is there, you definitely have to find the diluted EPS. So next one, diluted EPS. When convertible preference shares are converted into equity shares, the number of equity shares will be 105, because earlier it was 80 lakhs equity shares, and there is 25 lakh preference shares and they are convertible. That is, after a certain point these 25 lakhs preference shares will be converted into equity shares. So what is the total number of equity shares? That is 105 lakhs. Now you have to find diluted EPS. For finding the diluted EPS, you have to be very careful. Equation is basic EPS equal to profit available to equity shareholders divided by total number. So profit available to equity shareholders means, right now we have 80 lakh equity shares and these 25 lakh preference shares are converted to equity shares. So total equity shares is 105 lakhs. I am asking, whether there are any preference shareholders. No, because already these preference shareholders are converted into 25 lakhs. So now there are no preference shareholders. So since there are no preference shareholders, do we have to provide preference dividend? No. So the net profit available while for computing diluted EPS, profit available to equity shareholders is 1386 itself. Since we are not deducting 25 lakhs, don't go for 1361. Take 1386. So 1386 divided by 105, you will get 13.2. See what is the difference? In case of basic EPS, each shareholder will get 17 rupees. Because of this 25 lakh convertible preference shares, they have to distribute their income evenly, so they will get only 13.2. So this is how you have to find earning per share. I believe you have got the concept. Now show those two items here. Basic EPS 17, diluted EPS 13.2. So this is how you have to find or present a statement of profit or loss. So go through the format, familiarize each of these contents. If you have any queries, please do let me know. We will discuss about further application level cases with adjustments in the coming sessions.